If you have trouble seeing other vehicles because of dust or smoke blowing across the roadway, you should drive more slowly and turn on your A. Emergency flashers. B. Parking lights. C. Headlights. C. Headlights. You must turn on your headlights anytime conditions prevent you from seeing other vehicles. Other drivers may have trouble seeing you, too. Various traffic control devices in construction and maintenance work areas are the color A. Red. B. Orange. C. Yellow. B. Orange. Orange warning signs are used in and around work zones. Use special caution when you see orange signs, cones, or barriers on a roadway. Always stop before crossing railroad tracks when A. There isn't room on the other side for you to completely cross the tracks. B. The railroad crossing is located in a city or town that has frequent train traffic. C. You are transporting 2 or more young children in a passenger vehicle. A. There isn't room on the other side for you to completely cross the tracks. Expect a train on any track, at any time, traveling in either direction. If you need to stop after crossing the tracks, wait until you can completely cross the tracks before proceeding. Make sure your vehicle clears the tracks before you stop. It is necessary to use your low beams anytime you are A. On a lighted street. B. On a freeway. C. In fog. C. In fog. Use your low beams when driving in fog, snow, rain, or mist. Light from high beams will reflect off of precipitation, causing a glare and making it even more difficult to see. Some vehicles are equipped with fog lights that should be used in addition to low beam headlights.
Want to ace your DMV test? Go to cheatsheets.com and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
To avoid traction loss on wet roads, you should A. Make abrupt turns. B. Apply the brakes firmly. C. Slow down. C. Slow down. To prevent hydroplaning, lower your speed in response to wet roads and keep your tires in good condition. If you detect a loss of control, take your foot off the gas, do not apply the brakes, maintain the direction of the vehicle, and allow the vehicle to slow to a manageable speed. It is dangerous to follow a motorcycle too closely because A. They do not follow the same rules as motor vehicles. B. A motorcycle can stop much faster than a standard vehicle. C. They brake more slowly than motor vehicles. B. A motorcycle can stop much faster than a standard vehicle. Motorcycles can stop quickly and following them too closely endangers your life and that of the motorcyclist. If the motorcyclist makes a mistake, you need to have enough time and space to avoid a crash. When you see this sign, you should stop and A. Check for vehicles only in the direction that you plan on going, then proceed. B. Let all vehicles that arrive before or after you go first. C. Check for traffic in all directions before proceeding. C. Check for traffic in all directions before proceeding. At a stop sign, you must come to a full stop and check for traffic in all directions before proceeding. If a tire suddenly blows out while you are driving, you should A. Grip the steering wheel firmly, slow down, and exit the traffic lane. B. Pump the brakes rapidly. C. Brake hard and steer toward the right edge of the roadway. A. Grip the steering wheel firmly, slow down, and exit the traffic lane. If you experience a sudden tire blowout, do not panic. Grasp the steering wheel firmly and take your foot off the accelerator to allow the vehicle to roll to a stop. Lightly apply the brakes when it is safe to do so. Do not move to the shoulder of the road until the car has slowed considerably. A flashing red traffic light at an intersection means A. The same thing as a yield sign. B. The light is about to turn green. C. The same thing as a stop sign. C. The same thing as a stop sign. A flashing red light at an intersection means drivers are required to come to a complete stop, yield to traffic and pedestrians, and proceed when the way is clear. The same is true at a stop sign. When you drive through a construction zone, you should A. Stop to watch the workers. B. Decrease your following distance. C. Pass the construction zone carefully and not rubberneck. C. Pass the construction zone carefully and not rubberneck. To avoid contributing to chronic traffic congestion, you should not rubberneck. That is, you should not slow down to look at out of the ordinary things. Adjust your rear view and side mirrors. A. Before you start driving. B. Whenever you need to use them. C. Before you get into the car. A. Before you start driving. Your safety and the safety of other drivers and pedestrians depends a lot on what you do before driving. Before moving your vehicle, you should adjust your seat, adjust your mirrors, fasten your safety belt, and secure items in and on your vehicle. Do not wait until your vehicle is moving to adjust your mirrors. If a motorist sees pedestrians in an upcoming crosswalk, what should the motorist do? A. Continue ahead. The motorist has the right of way. B. Wait for the pedestrians to cross the street. C. Pull to the right and go around the pedestrians. B. Wait for the pedestrians to cross the street. A driver must yield the right of way to a pedestrian within a crosswalk. The driver should wait until the intersection is clear to proceed. You should yield to a pedestrian? A. Only if they are in a crosswalk. B. At all times, even if the pedestrian is not obeying traffic laws. C. Only if the traffic lights are in the pedestrian's favor. B. At all times, even if the pedestrian is not obeying traffic laws. Always be aware of pedestrians near your vehicle. You must do everything you can to prevent striking a pedestrian, regardless of the circumstances. You are preparing to exit the interstate. When should you start reducing your speed? A. About halfway through the deceleration lane. B. As you approach the deceleration lane. C. Immediately upon entering the deceleration lane. C. Immediately upon entering the deceleration lane. When leaving an interstate, you should maintain your speed until you enter the deceleration lane, at which point you should reduce your speed to the exit ramp's posted advisory speed. When changing lanes, you can check your blind spot by A. Using the inside rearview mirror. B. Turning your head and looking over your shoulder. C. Using your side mirror. B. Turning your head and looking over your shoulder. Even if your vehicle is properly equipped with mirrors, there are blind spots that cannot be seen by using the mirrors. Before changing lanes, look over your shoulder to check these areas. When driving in fog, rain, or snow, use A. Low beams. B. High beams. C. Fog lights only. A. Low beams. Low beam headlights should be used in fog, rain, and snow. The light from high beams will reflect back to the driver under these weather conditions, causing a glare that will make it difficult to see ahead. A dashed yellow line down the center of a two-lane road indicates that A. Lanes are moving in opposite directions and drivers are not permitted to pass. B. Lanes are moving in opposite directions and drivers are permitted to pass. C. Lanes are moving in the same direction and drivers are not permitted to pass. B. Lanes are moving in opposite directions and drivers are permitted to pass. Yellow lines are used to separate traffic moving in opposite directions. Dashed lines indicate that drivers directly next to the line are permitted to pass when it is safe to do so. There are oncoming vehicles to your left and a row of parked vehicles to your right. You should steer A. Closer to the oncoming vehicles than the parked vehicles. B. Closer to the parked vehicles than the oncoming vehicles. C. A middle course between the oncoming and parked vehicles. C. A middle course between the oncoming and parked vehicles. If there are oncoming vehicles to your left and a row of parked vehicles to your right, the best thing to do is to split the difference. Steer a middle course between the oncoming cars and the parked cars. If your vehicle begins to skid, you should A. Ease up on the gas pedal. B. Brake as hard as possible. C. Turn off the ignition. A. Ease up on the gas pedal. If your vehicle begins to skid, release the accelerator or brake pedal to regain vehicle balance. Steer in the direction of the skid to regain control of the vehicle. There are two traffic lanes moving in your direction. You are driving in the left lane and many vehicles are passing you on the right. If the driver behind you wishes to drive faster, you should A. Stay in your lane so you don't impede the flow of traffic. B. Drive onto the left shoulder to let the other vehicles pass. C. Move into the right lane when it is safe. C. Move into the right lane when it is safe. To drive quickly, pass, or turn left, use the left lane. Use the right lane when driving more slowly than surrounding traffic, entering the road, or turning right. If you want to enter the freeway but you don't see a gap in traffic, you should A. Maintain your speed and force the other drivers to create a gap. B. Slow down on the ramp to wait for a gap. C. Stop at the end of the ramp to wait for a gap. B. Slow down on the ramp to wait for a gap. If you want to enter the freeway but do not see a space for your vehicle in traffic, slow down on the ramp to wait for a gap. Do not drive to the end of the ramp and wait for a gap or you will not have enough room to accelerate to the speed of traffic before entering the roadway. If the rear of your vehicle is skidding to the left, you should A. Not turn your steering wheel. B. Turn your steering wheel to the left to correct the skid. C. Turn your steering wheel to the right to correct the skid. B. Turn your steering wheel to the left to correct the skid. If you begin to skid on a wet or icy road, take your foot off the accelerator, stay off the brakes, and turn your steering wheel in the direction of the skid. However, if you have anti-lock brakes, you should apply your brakes firmly and steer straight ahead. A solid yellow line next to a broken yellow line means that vehicles A. Driving in both directions may pass. B. Next to the broken line may pass. C. Next to the solid line may pass. B. Next to the broken line may pass. Yellow lines separate lanes of traffic moving in opposite directions. A broken yellow line next to your driving lane means that you may pass. When stopped at a red traffic light with a green arrow, you may proceed in the direction of the arrow if you A. First come to a complete stop. B. Wait until the light changes. C. Are in the proper lane and the intersection is clear. C. Are in the proper lane and the intersection is clear. You may proceed in the direction that a green arrow signal is pointing if you are in the proper lane, regardless of any other signals that are displayed. Before turning, you must yield the right of way to pedestrians and vehicles already within the intersection. When parking your vehicle on any hill, A. One of your rear wheels should touch the curb. B. Use your parking brake and leave the vehicle in park. C. Your front wheels should be parallel to the road, if there is no curb. B. Use your parking brake and leave the vehicle in park. When parking on a hill, you should always leave your vehicle in gear or in the park position. If there is no curb, you should turn your front wheels so that the vehicle will roll away from the center of the road if the brakes fail. If there is a curb, the front wheels should be turned toward it if headed downhill or away from and gently touching it if headed uphill. Drivers are required to obey instructions from A. Security guards patrolling parking lots. B. Other drivers whose vehicles are broken down on the roadway. C. Flaggers, signal persons at construction sites. C. Flaggers, signal persons at construction sites. Drivers must obey special signs or instructions given by flaggers. They are in place to keep drivers and workers safe. A diamond-shaped sign means A. Yield. B. Stop. C. Warning. C. Warning. Diamond-shaped signs are used to warn drivers of special conditions or hazards ahead. They are typically yellow or orange in color. A steady green traffic light at an intersection means A. Increase your speed. B. Adjust your mirrors. C. You may continue through the intersection at a safe and reasonable speed, if it is clear to do so. C. You may continue through the intersection at a safe and reasonable speed, if it is clear to do so. A steady green traffic light indicates that the driver may continue through the intersection. The driver should yield to traffic or pedestrians already in the intersection and proceed when the intersection is clear. Increase your following distance when driving behind a large vehicle. A. To better see around the sides of the vehicle. B. Because other drivers tend to pull behind large vehicles before trying to pass them. C. Because following too closely will get you caught in the vehicle's slipstream. A. To better see around the sides of the vehicle. Drivers of trucks, buses, vans, and any vehicles pulling campers or trailers may not be able to see you if you are driving directly behind them. Increase your following distance when driving behind one of these vehicles. Additionally, large vehicles can block your view of the road, so increase your following distance to look around the sides of the vehicle and see the road ahead. You must obey instructions from school crossing guards. A. At all times. B. Only during school hours. C. Unless you do not see any children present. A. At all times. Drivers should be alert to the presence of crossing guards when near a school and must always obey their instructions. This sign means A. Divided highway. B. Railroad warning. C. No passing zone. A. Divided highway. This sign indicates that a divided highway begins ahead. Before you enter an intersection, you should look to your A. Left, your right, then your left again. B. Right. C. Left. A. Left, your right, then your left again. Before you enter an intersection, look to both the left and right for approaching vehicles or crossing pedestrians. Look to your left a second time, as vehicle approaching from your left will be closer than those approaching from your right. Look across the intersection before you start to move to make sure the path is clear all the way through. Vehicles stopped behind a school bus with its red lights flashing must remain stopped until A. All students are off the bus. B. The stop arm is retracted. C. The stop arm is retracted and the bus resumes motion. C. The stop arm is retracted and the bus resumes motion. When a school bus is flashing its red lights and has its stop arm extended, motorists must come to a full stop until the lights are turned off, the stop arm is withdrawn, and the bus begins moving again. If oncoming headlights are blinding you while you are driving at night, you should A. Look toward the right edge of the road. B. Switch your lights to high beams. C. Turn your lights on and off. A. Look toward the right edge of the road. If the headlights of an oncoming vehicle are blinding, glance toward the right edge of the road instead of looking directly ahead. This should keep your vehicle safely on the road until you pass the oncoming vehicle. You are required to stop your vehicle? A. At any intersection where a police officer orders you to stop. B. Where there is a red traffic light. C. Both of the above. C. Both of the above. You must come to a complete stop at a steady or flashing red traffic light. You must always obey instructions given by officers directing traffic, regardless of any posted signs or traffic signals. When a pedestrian guided by a dog or carrying a white cane is crossing the street. A. You must always yield the right of way. B. You must tell them where to cross the street. C. You only have to yield the right of way if you are at a corner. A. You must always yield the right of way. Blind or partially blind pedestrians may carry a white cane or use the assistance of a guide dog. You must always yield the right of way to a pedestrian who is using a guide dog or carrying a white cane. What is a potential effect of taking a prescription drug while drinking alcohol? A. There will likely be no effect. B. It will make you more alert. C. It can make you unfit to drive. C. It can make you unfit to drive. Legal medications, both prescription and over-the-counter, can impair your ability to drive. They can be particularly dangerous when used in combination with alcohol. When stopping on snow or ice, drivers who are operating vehicles equipped with an anti-lock braking system (ABS) should A. Pump the brakes. B. Press and hold the brake pedal firmly. C. Stay off the brakes and wait for the car to drift to a stop. B. Press and hold the brake pedal firmly. When driving a vehicle equipped with an anti-lock braking system (ABS), a driver should press the brake pedal firmly when stopping on a snowy or icy surface. The ABS will pump the brakes more rapidly than a driver would be able to. When a school bus is stopped ahead on your side of the road with its red lights flashing, you must A. Slow to a speed no faster than 10 miles per hour. B. Stop until the lights stop flashing. C. Change lanes and pass cautiously. This sign indicates A. Railroad crossing. B. Pedestrian crossing. C. No passing zone. A. Railroad crossing. Yellow signs with black markings are used to warn drivers about upcoming hazards or special conditions. Round signs are used only to warn about upcoming railroad crossings.